Good day, my special viewers. My name is Dr. Alex British Chinedu Tasie from Ikwereland, Nigeria, West Africa. And by the grace of God, I am a writer, a musician, a filmmaker, a football coach, a historian, and a multidimensional thinker. Generally, people give me the sobriquet, a professor in native intelligence. This program is titled The Reality. The Reality is a program that I have designed, created, and enunciated to objectively and scholarly give some illumination, some elucidation to some interesting issues and topics of life. Some of the issues of life, topics of life that we find interesting, that we want to know about, I bring them to public space so that together we can all look at them, examine them, analyze them, appraise them, and see how we can make meanings out of them. That, of course, is the essence of this program, the reality. And of course, the reality is a knowledge-based program, an academic-based program, an education-based program, an enlightenment-based program. The topic that I have here to talk about is the meaning of education. The meaning of education. So the emphasis of this study is to know what education is all about, and to also know who is educated and who is not. Generally all over the world, the simple meaning of education is the acquisition of knowledge for a particular subject, for a particular discipline, for a particular skill, a particular vocation. To learn, to know, to acquire knowledge, to learn about something. Maybe what we do not know about at all, we do not have any knowledge about it. We want to acquire that knowledge. We want to know it better, wider, and deeper. And maybe too, what we know on the periphery, we want to know about it better, wider, and deeper. That is what education means, to learn. In an expanded meaning, as I define it, education can also mean the acquisition of knowledge of a particular discipline, a particular vocation, skill, within a particular period of time, and later to be certificated after being found qualified and proficient in that learning, in that study. That is the expanded meaning of education. So education is something that follows stage by stage process. You have to come out, bring out yourself to seek for that knowledge. You have to come out to go to learn that thing. And what you want to learn must be defined. It must be about something that intrigues you, that you like, that you want to use for your own betterment, for your own benefit, and that of the society, maybe. So that is what it means. That knowledge that you seek, that you desire to know about, now you go about to learn it. That particular thing that interests you is what you go out to learn. And you'll be given a particular period of time to learn that thing. There will be a time allotted to you to learn that thing, to complete that study, to learn that your vocation, that your skill, to know about what you want to know. There must be a time given to you to complete it. And when you complete it, when you finish it, you will be given a certificate It may not be a paper certificate. And what that takes is that you are proficient now in that discipline, in that study. You are qualified. You can now go out to display what you have learned. That is what education means. It follows stage by stage process. Commonly, we see and hear people say they are educated people. We are not educated people. Or we are educated people. They are not educated people. Commonly too, we hear someone say, he or she is not educated and I am educated. Or I am not educated. He or she is educated. So people rank education to be someone who goes out, to a conventional school, like a higher school or a university, to learn something, to learn a particular course, a particular discipline. And they say that person is the person that is educated. And the other person that has not gone to the university to learn anything is not educated. In life, the human life we live in is a life of human activity. Life is not homogeneous. Life is not a one-way thing. Life is not a one-line thing. So education is personal and also particular. What excites you, what interests you to learn may not interest me. What makes you happy that you want to know about may not be what makes me happy, may not be also what I want to know about. So it is a personal thing. There are people too who come into this world who are special. What they generate out from themselves, from their impulses, people learn from. What they say, what they do, later in time, people study them. People study what they learn. People study what they did. And they teach these things to other people. That is education. So education means the transfer of knowledge from one person that is qualified to somebody who is seeking that knowledge. There is a transfer of knowledge. Somebody must stand there as a teacher, as a lecturer, as a tutor, as a mentor, as the case may be, to someone who desires to learn what he or she wants to learn. So that is how it is. It is erroneous to look at someone and say, that person is not educated because he has not gone to the university to study anything. In life, as I have said, the human world is a life of activities. What you can do to make yourself happy, to help yourself, help your family, and help mankind too, is what interests you. So people learn these things from different ways. Some learn some things traditionally, informally. And we have the form of education called informal kind of education. An education that is not, in some cases, planned. You just bump into it and you begin. An education where you go to learn it, you don't wear uniforms. That is, the difference between formal and informal. Apart from that, they are all almost the same. In an informal kind of education, someone must send you to someone to go and learn what you want to know about. Maybe what you desire to learn or what the person thinks is best for you to learn. That person, either as your parent, relative, sibling, all that, may decide to send you to a particular person to learn a particular thing. You will have to go to that person for that person to transfer the knowledge he knows about a particular thing to you. So you must have to go out. And in most cases, people pay for the knowledge people acquire. Some pay money, some use other exchange means to acquire knowledge. You must have to go out to a place too, where you go every day or weekly, periodically as the case may be, to learn what you want to learn. And somebody must teach you. And when you go to that place, there are also rules to observe. We call it informal. Does not mean that it is 100% informal. It is also formal in like. So you go to that place, you observe what you're supposed to observe. For example, there is what we call traditional apprenticeship. In Africa, people go out to stay with a particular person or a particular group of people to learn what they know. For example, somebody may go out to a distant place to learn about native doctor profession, spirit mediumship, rainmaking. They don't come back. They go out there. They stay there with the diviner, with the clairvoyant person. They stay there to learn what they want to learn within a particular period of time. It could be months, it could be years. They spend there, become proficient there, and come back to display what they have learned. So why it is traditional is that the knowledge that people acquire there is that kind of knowledge that the people are familiar with, that is indigenous to them, that they know about, that is around them. And mostly a kind of knowledge transferred from the elderly to the young, from one generation to the other. So people don't want some of the things that they do, some of the things that they say to die, to go into extinction. So they now desire to transfer those things to the younger people to continue with them. That is what we call informal, traditional kind of education. We have also the one that is called formal and Western. It is formal because there is a particular place set aside where people go to acquire that knowledge. They wear uniforms, mostly. Apart from that, there's no much difference between the informal and the formal. Because in this case too, they observe rules. Someone teaches them what they want to know. They go also there to learn a particular subject of their interests. That which makes them happy is what they go out to learn. So that is called informal, and that is called formal. Why it is Western is because most of the things that are taught come from outside the shores of Africa. They come from the white man's world. The people who call the Westerners from the Western world. So it is called Western education. The Europeans, the North American people, at least they fall in that zone. So the kind of knowledge, the kind of education, the kind of learning, vocation and skill that they bring in from their place to the indigenous people is called Western kind of education. And of course, that is prevalent. That has predominated the African learning system. We hardly see the local kind of knowledge being transferred from one generation to the other as it was in the case in those days. Nowadays, what has filled our environment is the kind of education that is imported from the white man's world, and name them Western medicine, engineering, Western law, and all that, linguistics, Western philosophy and thought, Western languages, communication and all that, international studies. Those things that the people are not familiar with, that they do not know about, are the things that have now predominated our environment. So they all come from the white man's world, and so we call it Western education. It is erroneous, as I have said, to look at somebody and say he is not educated. Education cannot be gotten, cannot be sourced from just one area, from the conventional school. No. As I have said, there are learnings, vocations, skills, that people also learn from the traditional system. For example, rainmaking is not taught in the university. Spirituality is not taught in the university. How to play the local music instruments and sing the music well is not taught in the university. Clairvoyancy is not taught in the university. Traditional medicine is not taught in the university. There are many things that are not taught in the university that the people, learn to continue to keep their existence alive. The white man did not come with those things, but quite unfortunate for us, some of these things are going into extinction. They are dying off because we have now tilted our likeness, our favor towards those ones that come from the white man's world. So who is educated and who is not educated? In this life, anything that you are not proficient in, that you do not know, that you are a novice, is what you are not educated in. Anything at all that you stay in awe, that amazes you when it is being displayed, you don't know about it, you cannot make any contribution in any form, is what you are not educated in. You can only be educated in what you are proficient in what you are knowledgeable about, in what you know about. Anything that you do not know about, the nitty-gritties in that you do not know, the intricacies too, you do not know about anything in that field, in that discipline, in that vocation, in that skill, in that learning, you are not educated in that thing. So everybody in life is not 100% educated. Everybody in life is also 100% almost educated. No human being has the monopoly of knowledge except God, the creator of knowledge. So what you know may not be what I know. That is life. Life is variegated, departmentalized, compartmentalized, segmented. That is life. If you are a professor who lectures in the university and you cannot design your own house and you cannot construct your own house, you contract somebody to come and help you do that, you are not educated in that field. If you go to a farm as a learned person, as a lawyer, as a medical doctor, as an engineer, as a professor, whatever, you go to the farm and you do not know about the geometry in the farm. You do not know when to plant a particular crop in the farm and when to plant others. You are not educated in that field. When you come to your village, you cannot sing their songs. You cannot play the local instruments. You are not educated. Those things, of course, fascinate you. You like them, but you do not know anything about them. It means you are not educated in that thing. If you are a medical doctor and you go to court, you cannot defend yourself. You stay in awe. Begin to look at the proceedings. It means you are not educated. You are a lawyer. When you get into the hospital, you see a doctor performing his operation, surgery, and you cannot make any input, any contribution. It means you are not educated too. Anything in life that you are not familiar with, that you do not know about its nitty-gritties, its complexities too, you are not educated. The thing looks ambiguous to you. You can't explain it. The thing bewilders you, perplexes you. It means you are not educated in that field. A university graduate who goes to the main market to buy something, and she does not know the one that is original and the one that is fake, does not even know the names of the products, and in some cases too cannot explain how they function, is not educated in that field. That business person who attends to you, who has that proficiency, is educated. As I have said, education is when you pass through the stages of learning. If somebody is a carpenter, a mason person, an auto electrician, a business person, and goes through the stages of education to be proficient, that person is educated. For example, a carpenter that spends 6 years learning carpentry, a mason person that spends about 8 years to be proficient, and you spend 4 years in the university, or 5 years or 7 years as the case may be, and you call that person not an educated person because he is not a university graduate. It is an error. It is an error. If the time span spent in learning that thing is a factor in this matter, it means that the person who has gone into, through apprenticeship in what he or she has gone to learn for about 5 years, 6 years, 7 years is better educated than you that has spent just 4 or 5 years and you graduate and you come out to say, I am an educated person. No. Anything, I repeat, that you do not know about, you cannot explain it. You cannot make any contribution, any input, is what you are not educated about. That is life. My name is Dr. Alex British Chinedu Tasie. In case you like what I do, you like the topics that I present on this program, you want to assist me financially to go into more research, you want to buy me data to upload the things I want to do on social media because it is a free production, I will appreciate it. And the account detail is Access Bank 40551714 with the name Alex British Tasie. In case you want to feature on this program, you want to advertise something, you want to book me for a symposium, a seminar, or engage me in a discussion of any kind, I am available and you are welcome. And the contact is +234 806 369 3609. WhatsApp +234 806 369 3609. So whatever you do not know about, you are not educated in that thing. Whatever you do not have the proficiency, you don't have any knowledge about it, you are a novice in that thing, means you are not educated in that thing. Why? Because you have not passed through the stages to acquire that knowledge, while the other person who is displaying what he or she is displaying has passed through the stages. As I have said, the person has gone to learn it and has completed the study within the time given to him or her to complete that course and is certified, proficient, qualified. It means that that person is also educated. It is not only those that go to the university that are educated people. No. Every other person is also educated. As far as that person has gone through the course of learning, has trained to learn, has labored to learn, and has passed through all the stages, and processes to acquire that knowledge, that person is also qualified to be called an educated person. And I want to tell you this. It is not because of what you do you think you're educated in can make you to be better than every other person. No. What you do is not a guarantee that you must be better than every other person. The other person too, who is educated in his or her own rights, may do better economically than you. So there is no guarantee that because you are a lawyer, because you're a medical doctor, because you're a professor, you're a lecturer, you're an engineer, you are a theater artist and all that, that you will be better than the carpenter, the electrician, the business person. No, there is no guarantee. It is about favor, about hard work, about input, resilience in this matter. So everyone is educated. Everyone is not also educated. What I know, I am educated in it because I have spent time. I have gone through the rigors, through the rudiments to know about it. So you, who is in your own rights, cannot say that I am not educated. No. So you are educated. And there's nothing like better educated. Better educated is when you advance in what you do. When you continue to earn, on the level of your proficiency. You want to learn everything and you want to learn it better and higher. That is it. Some people, like there are some lawyers today, you see them, they have spent more than 30 years, 40 years. They are not sons. And someone who just practiced for 15 years is a son. You see some people, they have lectured for many years, more than 20, 30 years. They are not professors. And some 8 years, 9 years, they are professors. That is not a guarantee. There are some business people that have also built their businesses for more than 40, 50 years. They are also professors in that field. They are also sons in that field. Everything about that business, they know it from the foundation to where they are. So they are also educated people. So they need also to be respected. They need also to be regarded. It is not when you come to an occasion, you say because he's a professor, he's a son, he's a judge, no. You also regard the other person who has also completed his or her own course to get to the level that he or she has reached in life with what he or she does. You have to respect that person. That is it. That is what education means. Thank you.